I personally find dollar cost averaging the best investment strategy for beginners to get started in Bitcoin responsibly. But what are the 5 best and most reliable ways to actually do it? Hello, Adriaan here for Bitcoin for Beginners. In this series I will walk you through the top 5s of all things Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. And today the top 5 of methods to dollar cost average Bitcoin. Please check out this disclaimer: this video does not contain investment advice, it is merely intended as edutainment. First of all, let's explain as a reminder what dollar cost averaging is and its benefits compared to other strategies. Very common strategies that beginners hear are lump sum buy and hold, and what is most hyped all over internet, of course, trading. Actively trading Bitcoin investors is what makes exchanges the most money, and on social media is what drives the most traffic for influencers, because fear and greed is what gets most people's attention. However, trading is extremely risky. 90% lose money because most people don't have the right skills and methods to be profitable. It costs a lot of time and money to properly learn, and active trading is enormously time consuming, stressful, and relies on a lot of accurately timing of the market, which most people simply aren't good at. Then lump sum buy and hold is probably the easiest and most hassle-free strategy. Just use the entire allocated capital at once to buy the total amount of Bitcoin on day one and then just leave it at that. If this is done at the bottom of the market, this might return a better profit with the least amount of effort. However, virtually no one ever succeeds to enter with all the capital at exactly the right time, and additionally, most beginners usually buy way more than they can afford to lose immediately when they start. Unfortunately, most of them do that at the worst possible time. That often is right around a period like this. And this will catch most beginners in a mental trap. They are either forced to panic sell at a huge loss, or will have to wait years before they see a profit and might not have the extra cash left anymore to add more in the meantime at those lower prices. And you definitely don't want to end up like this guy who bought way too much when Bitcoin just reached its all-time high in 2017 and did that even on a mortgage. Please don't ever do like him. If trapped like this with lump sum buying, this trap can lead to selling at a massive loss, like this guy felt forced to do. The solution is the alternative strategy of dollar cost averaging. With this strategy, you will buy a fixed dollar amount on a periodic basis, for example weekly or monthly. This means at higher prices you will buy less Bitcoin, but at lower prices you will automatically buy more Bitcoin. Over time you will get a decent average price without all the headache, stress and enormous time spent that active traders do. Generally speaking, dollar cost averaging Bitcoin has the following additional benefits. Dollar cost averaging severely reduces the impact of bad market timing. It removes your cognitive biases. The market and media are constantly trying to manipulate you. Avoid fear and FOMO. But also you build up mental tolerance for the violent volatility of Bitcoin. Starting with $10,000 at the beginning will trigger the wrong emotions that could lead to wrong decision making, such as panic selling at a loss. Compared to starting with only $100 in the first month, while price swings will have a smaller impact on your emotions, and over time the amount will increase slowly as well as your ability to emotionally deal with the volatility. And again, it helps to avoid fear and fear of missing out. It also makes investing in volatile assets less risky and stressful, far less time consuming, as few as set and forget, and virtually no investment or trading skills are required. Let's compare results quickly of lump sum investing versus dollar cost averaging if we started around the all-time high late 2017. Then you can see if you started with a $15,000 lump sum buy and hodl strategy in 2017, you would now still be at 30% loss if you hadn't panic sold much earlier at a higher loss, which is equally likely. If you started with a $100 per month, your total invested amount would be the same $15,000 by now, but you would already be in a nearly 90% profit by now. For all these reasons, it is my firm opinion and conviction that dollar cost averaging Bitcoin is by far the best getting started strategy for Bitcoin beginners. It is also what I have done myself in the past. So what are the methods to dollar cost average? Most services offered are aimed at trading, so the choice of methods and services for dollar cost averaging is much less abundant. That is why I found it useful to list my top 5 of favorite methods. For your convenience, we have also included the servers that are mentioned in the video in the comment section. Before we continue this episode, if you like our content, please give this video a like and additionally subscribe to our channel for more of our updates. On number 5 is do it yourself manually. This method has the advantage that you aren't limited to platforms that offer it as a service, because you can do it basically on every platform. Set yourself a weekly or monthly reminder and execute your periodic order yourself on the platform. Another advantage is that compared to most recurring purchase services, the cost and fees tend to be lower, because you execute the trade yourself on the platform. But the biggest disadvantage of this method is that it requires iron discipline to faithfully execute the trade promptly each period. Many people tend to forget, become lazy and procrastinate. This may lead that eventually over a short period of time not any Bitcoin is bought anymore, which might come at a huge opportunity cost. Method number 4 is setting a recurring buy order at Coinbase. To avoid the biggest disadvantage of manually dollar cost averaging, it might be better to choose one of the automated services that you have to set up once and then they execute automatically, so you can just forget about it. This saves the periodic hassle and the risk of forgetting. Coinbase offers this with a very simple one-time setup in your account. Probably one of the easiest ways to set this up, but with the disadvantage that you pay a relatively higher fee, especially with lower periodic order amounts. However, if this extra cost means at least you are buying Bitcoin instead of the opportunity cost of not buying, like in the previous method, then the extra cost in fees at Coinbase might be well worth it in the end. Coinbase, due to being largely regulated and having insurance, it is probably the safest custodian wallets, although it could be a good idea to periodically also withdraw to a wallet of which you control the private keys. Before we move to the final part of the video, please check out the pinned comment below for our special offer. Method number 3 is through the crypto.com app. This is also a convenient method because you can just download the app, register and do KYC, connect your credit card and then set up a recurring buy order and the desired frequency and you're basically done. No need to fund an exchange account because the funds will be directly drawn from your credit card. Of course, there will be extra transaction costs involved with the process for the convenience. Also be aware that there is a minimum of $50 per buy order, so keep that in mind as well. Swan Bitcoin is another very easy to set up service with a lot of flexibility. It combines a smooth user experience for setting up with lower fees than, for example, Coinbase charges. It is possible to let the service withdraw your periodic Bitcoin purchases automatically to your own Bitcoin wallet, but they also offer a free custodian service. One limitation is that it is only available for US citizens with a US bank account. If you are from outside the US, alternatives could be crypto.com or skrill.com, which are available more internationally for recurring buy orders. But my number one favorite method, however, is using a bot that will automatically execute your dollar cost average recurring buy orders. This combines the convenience and consistency of automation with the lowest possible cost compared to all the previous methods. There is only a tiny bit more effort involved in the one-time setup, but still fairly simple process that also non-tech savvy beginners should be able to handle. Because my personal preferred exchange is Kraken, I would choose DeltaBadger as a service myself. These bots work with an API key that will allow the service to execute the automated orders on your exchange account. The API doesn't have permission to withdraw, so it can't steal your funds and they are generally safe to use. The advantage is that you benefit from the low trading fees of the exchange instead of the higher fees that you pay for the services like we mentioned before. DeltaBadger is free up till $500 of cumulative orders in a year or $20 per year if you want to buy more on a yearly cumulative basis. The only thing to keep in mind is to make sure your Kraken account is constantly funded with fiat money. Best way to achieve that is by setting an automatic recurring bank transfer from your bank account to Kraken. So tell me in the comments if you are dollar cost averaging Bitcoin as well, or are you planning to? And if so, which are your favorite services? One of those that I mentioned in the video, or do you have other suggestions? That's about all. Don't forget to smash the like button if you want to show your appreciation. Also, if you like our content and want to see more episodes like this one, then follow us by subscribing to our channel. If you already have done all that, check out one of the videos that are featured here. Looking forward to see you all next time. Take care.